A group of oil marketers, the Major Energy Marketers Association of Nigeria, MEMAN, has denied reports that local refining of crude oil can reduce the pump price of petrol to as low as 300 naira per litre. It emphasized that this reduction could only happen if the government ensured a steady supply of crude oil to local refineries. However, the Crude Oil Refinery Owners Association of Nigeria, CORAN, stated that pump price cannot reduce to 300 naira per litre due to the exchange rate and global oil prices. This major debate is at the backdrop of an allegation that the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited inflated subsidy claims by 3.3 trillion naira, while the government continues to deny that there is no subsidy being paid on petrol. This morning, joining me to discuss this further, I have Esther Otusanya, Senior Investment Research Analyst at Meristem Securities Limited. Esther, it's nice to have you once again on the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So tell me, is it really implausible that the pump price of petrol would drop to 300 naira per litre once Dangote Refinery and other indigenous modular refineries begin large-scale production?
Well, seeing the pump price of petrol at 300 naira per litre is, well, highly unlikely. I mean, even with the commencement of operation at the Dangote Refinery and other modular refineries, PMS prices are unlikely to drop to this level, and there are different contributing factors. So we know that the removal of reliance on PMS importation is indeed a positive development, especially considering the challenges downstream companies faced with sourcing effects after the sector was deregulated, and we saw that the elimination of some costs associated with importation is beneficial. We saw costs like freight and also transportation as well as insurance being eliminated. So, but mostly the cost of crude oil itself has been highly volatile, and it's remained a crucial factor. And even if oil marketers should source this product domestically, the input cost for refining is still indexed to the dollar and exposed to FX fluctuation. So, and the other cost input is specific to Nigeria, and we can see that this structural cost can actually be maybe they are control of that, but seeing reduction of price to 300 naira, that's almost like a 50% drop from what we have right now at 600 naira. Is likely is not visible. Even seeing that this current 600 naira per litre is not really reflecting the market
price.
realities of exactly.
So what is now the different case with the Dangote Refinery that lowered diesel prices from 1,700 naira to 1,100 naira before it now increased it to 1,200? Because this is a commodity that is also affected by the factors that you've mentioned, but it was able to reduce the price. So what is the difference between that and the pump price?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, the removal of the importation dependency, it means that they are eliminating some costs, and that's why we saw that decline at first from about 1,700 naira market price of diesel to Dangote's sales price of about 1,350 naira per litre to marketers. And let's not forget that this price is ex-marketers margin, because distribution and transportation expenses and even the marketers' own profit has not been factored in. But a major driver of the reduced diesel price would also be the stability in Naira. So when Naira appreciated in around April, we saw that the sales price per litre that Dangote was offering to these marketers, it reduced as well. It reduced to about 1,000 naira. But with the recent depreciation, there's been some challenges in price offered by, there's been some changes rather in price offered by Dangote. It has increased to about 1,200 naira per litre of diesel being offered.
So is there a way that the Nigerian government can actually mitigate the issue around naira fluctuation and exchange rates? If there is a way that the Nigerian government can go around it to ensure that full price is stable and is affordable by Nigerians?
Okay, well, to a large extent, rather than, well, let's say for exchange rate itself, there's a lot can be done from the monetary aspect, monetary authority aspect, and fiscal authority as well. But looking at the energy sector itself, I mean, there's been a lot of reforms since the new administration came in, reforms in subsidy removal for one, and even since then, we've seen different reforms trying to drive production capacity of crude oil at the upstream level. And we've also seen the positive impact of that. But to actually mitigate the impact of currency fluctuations on fuel prices, it eventually feeds down to the naira itself. So, and for naira to be able to stabilize, I think there's just a lot that needs to be done. Although the monetary authority has been doing a lot in their capacity, we've seen the increase in foreign investment that has been able to supply like liquidity, and even the CBN themselves have been able to supply liquidity, and how this has impacted prices. But when we speak to the energy sector itself, we've also seen reforms, and even of recent there was a directive from the administration targeted at just ramping up upstream production level, and it's not just targeted at just crude only. We've also seen many of these targeted at gas. I mean, the fiscal incentive for the oil and gas sector generally, just to reduce the premium in relation to other markets, and also manage the efficiency in the market in general.
Okay. Okay, so let's look at probable solutions now. Now, there's a clause that government must ensure a steady supply of crude oil to local refineries. Now, we know that this sector is plagued by pipeline vandalism, oil theft, and all, making it impossible to meet projected production levels. But then, should local refiners be prioritized when it comes to supply? Because foreign refineries seem to have the advantage.
Well, truly, it all still fits down into how much production is being done at the upstream level. I know the way the energy sector, the upstream level, segments of this sector is structured. Many of these upstream companies, they already entered into contracts, I mean, forward contracts with a lot of maybe foreign companies or foreign traders that they have to trade partners that they have to supply crude to. So despite this crude oil obligation supply that the regulatory body, the regulatory authority directed at this upstream company to supply domestic refineries, I think more still needs to be done. If the capacity of production is increased, I mean, there will be enough crude that can both serve local market and also foreign market as well. But truly, like you mentioned, I think the local refinery should actually be prioritized, because the rippling effects we have from that end, it has a more direct impact than maybe the export of crude, rather than leaving the local refinery stranded. So I think the authorities, the regulatory body, still has to ensure that these reforms that they've put down, and also this crude obligation supply that has been put down, must actually be added by upstream companies. So well, we are looking at it to see what will play out in that end in the near term.
Okay, so let me just quickly share with you what I have here. Now, Dangote, Aliko Dangote had a couple of months ago come out to say that there's a possibility that Nigeria would no longer need to import petrol by June this year. But then there's still deficit on the supply side, and the refinery is set to be outsourcing for crude to be able to refine. Now, looking at this pronouncement, what Nigeria has been able to generate in a couple of weeks or months now, do you think there's a possibility that Nigeria would be able to not have to import by June, when you consider the indices? I'd like to just get your response in about 30 seconds.
Okay. Truly, it is unlikely by June, because we're already in June right now. And but I'm looking at the production capacity, or refining capacity of Dangote Refinery, and it started with 350,000 barrels per day earlier this year. And looking at the demand, the local demand of PMS in Nigeria, it is waving around 300,000 liters on the domestic economy per day. And it is possible that the refinery can actually supply the local market what it needs for the demand, and we will need to import truly. But how soon will that happen? The refinery Dangote has disclosed that it has to happen by June, but we've not really seen that starting to happen yet.
All right. Esther Otusanya, Senior Investment Research Analyst, Meristem Securities Limited, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us.